Monday. Just giving y'all some motivational vibes early, early in the week. So come in, drop your questions and your thoughts. Honestly, I just been relaxing all weekend. I had some kind of stomach bug. I don't know what I ate, but it definitely did not agree with me. So, but we still showing up. Now, something happened yesterday. I know what I wanted to talk about. This movie I saw on Netflix, The Neighbor. Oh, The Perfect Neighbor. Let me put that part in there. The Perfect Neighbor. Let me know if y'all saw that movie. Let me know if y'all saw that movie. So the movie was just unbelievable. I couldn't believe with my eyes what I was seeing. And it took place in my home state of Florida. Home of the despotism. Despotism just means people who like to do cruel and evil shit for no reason. That's what that means. So the movie was, I don't know, it was just, I watched it from the beginning to the end, just with my jaw dropped, eyes like, what the fuck? So y'all definitely gotta go check that out. I won't spoil it because it is just hitting the screen, but man, y'all gotta check it out. It's crazy. So yeah, this is Monday. I just want to give you guys some motivational vibes. Not really doing too much heaviness with the brain. Encourage you all to go join the Hood to Hooded Dreamers Network, which is a community of like-minded individuals just trying to achieve health on all different levels, mentally, physically, spiritually, every single level. So you can go click the link in the bio to join me there and get the courses that we have done in the past and that we will do in the future. Today is not a course class. Today is just to come in and let's talk, let's chat. What's on your mind? Like, how you feeling? How you doing? And honestly, while I'm live, I might come up with my topics for the week. So if you want me to cover something, just let me know. This week we still gonna be focusing on AI. We're gonna be doing trading on Friday. Yeah, we're getting into the stock market. Actually, I should put that up right now, but you know, cause the market opened at in a little while, so we actually could show a trade, but it would be so random. So we're gonna wait until Friday and keep this on topic for what it is, which is just a chill. Good morning, how you feeling? Asio Maniji, you know, feathers up. I just been learning so much when it comes to history. And honestly, yeah, I just been learning so much. It don't even make sense. Learning so freaking much. Yesterday I learned something so evil about the church. And I was like, okay, this ties all the things that I've been uncovering together. It ties it all together. And So yesterday, I got a little distracted. Yesterday, I was doing some research. We came across this video because I've been uncovering that we are the true indigenous people of America, aka Turtle Island. We've been uncovering this. It's going ham all across social media because it's a mass effort to wake the Niji up. If you think you're from Africa, you've been told that you was a SLAVE. You're probably not. More than likely, you're not. You're right from here. And our families, our ancestors, some of them were tricked out of their spot, tricked into the system, into the Papa Bull system. And the Pope just came out 2023 talking about they don't want nothing to do with the stuff that they created that allowed pilgrims and savages and conquistadors to travel around the world and claim land because you wouldn't turn into Christianity or because you wouldn't bow down. So they thought that they could just claim land. I mean, it was pretty psycho to me. But yesterday, it just all tied together, y'all. It just all tied together. I really want to see if I can pull up this video. Let me see.
You want to own your name? You want to own your. So I see my melanated brothers and sisters for their genealogy. You want to.
I guess I can't pull it up like that, but I guess I can't pull it up, but I just tell y'all what I saw. I'll tell y'all what I saw that really had my stomach like hurting. I was like, what? It just don't get no deeper than what y'all. Just what? Okay. So yesterday, I found a video of this Caucasian lady, and she was just telling about how all the churches need to come out and tell the truth about what they did to the Niji, the melanated people. She was saying how back in those days, people, they honor Andrew Jackson for going around unaliving us. They put him on the money. They made him president. They honor him for telling you that you wouldn't be nothing and stealing everything and making you think you black and from Africa and you from poverty when you actually royalty. Land stolen, dreams stolen, identity switched. So she was just saying how the church, the Presbyterian, the Baptist, all of these churches that was full of Caucasian people back in the day when they was wanted to be evil and eat us and do all the type of the nasty things that was going on back then, that the churches sponsored slavery. Oh, okay. So they said if you didn't turn into Christian, and then we could take your land, we could take your name, we could do whatever we want. They was really that delusional. Molly brain. So the churches sponsored this on the low. I'm talking about right here in America. They sponsored this. And then she went on to say how they would have the white people, whiteys, whatever y'all want to call it. I don't, upstairs worshiping. And then they would have the melanated Niji that they have enslaved, basically KID now, underneath chain while they talking and praying to God. I was like, what the fuck? This tied this all together. No wonder why they think the evilness come from their God in the name of their Lord. And then it said how they would bring some of them upstairs to worship with them and teach them on how to be obedient, like how to be basically chattel, how to just shut the fuck up. And they thought, okay, we could tell them not to read, not to write, not to this, not to that. Whoever these poor, unfortunate people were that they just took from somewhere. Y'all seen the movie Get Out. You see how it go. They wasn't bothering them. They was in a strange place. Somebody pulled up in a strange car, put them in the back of the car, took them to a foreign place, did some mind control on them, and then the same guy was not the same as he was before he got in the car. Y'all seen Get Out. It ain't hard to see how this happened back in the day. If it was laws that said you can do this back in the day, they were just running around, just doing things. You like, dang, where Johnny at? And they done got him. Like, let's not pretend like we don't know. So when I saw this yesterday, this lady coming out and whistleblowing about the church, the Presbyterian, and all the Catholic, all of them, I already knew. I read about what the Pope did back in the 1300s and then on into the 1400s. The Pope is who told Christopher Columbus, ghetto ass, bird brain, idiotic, just evil like you have never seen it, to go and just do what you want. They told all of them that. Whoever is not a prince of a Christian, is what the Pope said, you can go and seize their land, search their land, discover their land, take their land, and if they don't convert to Christianity, then you can do whatever you want with them. And they took that and they ran with it. They came over here to the West Indies. They saw beautiful, melanated people. I kind of want to pull that picture up on what they saw. Let's pull it up. Let me show y'all what they saw. This is what they saw. What they saw? Okay. I can't pull it up on, let me send it to myself. So this is what they saw. I'm gonna pull it up for y'all on Twitch. Just give me a second, but this was before the Renaissance period, the whitewashing, the breaking off of the noses, all of that. When the painters came here in the 13, 14, really like the 1400 era, 1500, in the other museums you see is written in another language. This is what they put the Americans. You can't see the full picture unless you come over to Twitch. But these are the people that they saw. This is like a Native American. We're not trying to be Native American. We trying to be who you saw when you first came over here, sovereign. People who don't need permission to walk and talk. Y'all always be in our business, even on the internet. Some kind of way they be in our business. But it's a reason for everything. This happened, they're in our business, but guess what it did? It sped up the I don't know what to call this, the grand awakening. It sped it up. I just read something also yesterday. The Native American tribes are losing $24 billion because they are not us. So you can imagine if we had our land, we had this $24 billion that they've been cosplaying, pretending to be us, pretending to be these people, the Indians from America. You wouldn't be worried about work. You wouldn't be worried about none of that. You would be getting land passed down. You'd be focusing on your true freaking passion. That's what you would be doing. You'll be able to focus on your true passion, not 12 years of going to school and then you get out of school and you don't know nothing about money. You don't know about true history. All you know is the presidents. Most of these presidents enslaved people. They was going to church, going to being deacons and all of this stuff, but then they was going the war after that. I just this this great discovery, and if you don't know, you got to do your genealogy. You just got to start there. Like I always tell people, don't listen to me. Go do the reading, because that's what really woke me up. Because I would hear this, people kept telling me this, trying to. I said I gotta go see for myself. And when I do my ancestry and I see the records, it's like, whoa, man, whoa, Himusabi. It's just amazing. The lies, the that this country lives in, the fabric of the DNA now, it's all about lies. The thing that I know about foundations, you know how they had the three little pigs? One built the foundation in straw. Sticks. But it's all about that brick. It's all about having something solid. And the fabric of America right now is rooted in racism. And racism can't really grow roots. It's not really, it don't attach to nothing. It's just attached to everything evil and dark and hateful, and eating people and using their skin to cover your skin and sneak attacking them and trying to make every law against them and doing this and doing that. When does it get tired? Like, ain't y'all tired? Like, doing this? Obviously not. Obviously not. We can answer that clearly. Obviously not. But, if you on Twitch, give me a second. I'm going to pull up this picture of the people they saw when they first got here. And this is images that are on sale in museums for hundreds of dollars. Because when it's authentic, they sell it really high. If it's not authentic, they don't sell it really high. It'd be about $20. If it was the whitewash version, it would be the $20 version. But these are the real, true people they saw when they came to. And actually, this isn't the one. I actually put it the wrong one. Where is my picture? Oh, you can't even see it. It's the Africa one. This is the one with the feathers. So let me see. Email this. Oh, excuse me, that was so freaking rude. Come on, internet. I'm having so much technical difficulties today, but it's okay. It's okay. Hold it sent. Okay, it's sent. It's sent. Is that the right one? Yep, this is the right one. So yeah, man. So that movie stems from the decades and centuries of hate that has been perpetuated, taught in the school. Just psychotic type activity. And we're just tired of it. We're tired of the shenanigans. We're tired of the shenanigans, guys. So today we just gonna chill out, learn a little bit. I'm gonna pull up these pictures so now y'all can see on TikTok what the true Americas look like before. No, is this the right one? Yeah, this the right one. know the Americans because they got the feathers. What that look like? Come on now. Stop playing. Stop playing. These guys were the original Slavs. On that picture you see right there. Stop playing. I want to see if I can pull this up a little bit better for y'all on TikTok. Drop your questions in the chat. Let me know how you feeling today. Did you know that you was indigenous to America, or you like, whoa, I didn't even know this. I had no idea, Dr. Sean. Like, you gotta be kidding me. You know. And every day is just a battle to get the truth out, wake people up, so you know why you feel like you feel. It ain't just because, you need to work harder, or it ain't just because of that. Dang, I wish I could blow this up a little bit better for y'all, but it's not gonna work. It's not gonna work. Dang, I wanted y'all to see this, but I have to work on it because it's just maybe this will be alright. Let's download JPEG. Download. Let's see. Pull this up for y'all better. Well, I guess this is the best I can do with this image, but those are the people that gave the church the divine right to steal. These guys. It's kind of hard for y'all to see on TikTok, but you get the picture. So today, we just stay motivated. We stay. Yeah. I ain't gonna try to teach too much because I said I wasn't gonna teach too much on here, but it's always good to know who you are at all times. Cause that lady in the movie, she was calling the little kids out their name. She was calling them B's, P's, N's, all kind of stuff. She felt super entitled because this is the way that they teach in school that you're less, I'm more. So when you get out and you have this fake pseudo history, you don't know what to do with yourself. You just think that you're better than people, not knowing that you were actually the immigrant. You were the immigrant. Congrats on 1K subscribers. Thank you. Yes. I hit 1K on YouTube. I hit 1K on YouTube. And if y'all don't know, hitting 1K on YouTube is a big accomplishment. Only 9% of people get there. And it definitely requires intention, consistency, creativity, and a passion for it. You don't get paid until you meet certain criteria. But if you have a passion to make a side hustle, then you're going to make it happen. And not only a side hustle, but to help other people. So we just been growing on this channel, and honestly, since I came into my true identity, learning about who I am, talking about this niche business, I have really been growing. But yesterday, like I said, finding out, first of all, seeing that movie, The Perfect Neighbor, and then let me just see. I thought I had it in here, but maybe I didn't. The Perfect Neighbor. Well, anywho, seeing that movie. Oh, this lady. I gotta get her off the screen. Let's take her down. I don't even want to see her. No. But that really just threw me for a loop. So seeing that on Saturday, crying, seeing those little kids lose their mom, then on Sunday, hearing this YT say the church is responsible. They were holding people under the church while they was preaching. They were giving them Bibles, forcing them to go to Sunday school, to the point where they made everybody start going to Sunday school, to the point where they took off the Sunday part and made it just school. So now you just go to school for 12 years and you ain't learning how to be wealthy. You're not learning financial literacy. You're learning stuff you're probably never going to use again. I mean, of course you use reading and writing, but how could you focus on that when you sit down for 8 hours? You know, so the system, the colonized system is crumbling down rapidly because it was built on evil, not motivation. You see how this is called Motivational Monday? It wasn't built on really motivating people. It was only about motivating a certain people who were professional thieves, professional people who committed homicide, democide, genocide, all kinds of side, you name it. They were professional at eating other humans. They were professional at sailing across the water and just starting trouble, stealing land, telling you that you from Africa, telling that you're an immigrant when you're really not. Just imagine that. They took millions of acres of land, right? Millions of acres, turned it into forests, and now they sell it privately. Government is shut down. I feel like they shut down because the Niji woke up, so they trying to act like they sleep. They're like, oh, they done woke up, let us act like we sleeping. I heard about the protests on Saturday, and we ain't going out there. For what? For what? I just want to rattle our feathers, you know, but right now, the change has to be spiritual. The change has to be deeper than deep can go. The change has to be so spiritual. It has to be such like a deep spiritual apology to the original people of this land. And some people say, dang, I don't think it's ever going to happen. It has to happen. It's already set up to happen. I feel in my spirit it's already set up to happen. That's why You know, I feel like the Native Americans, they should have probably just been quiet. You should have just been quiet, not arguing with the Niji on TikTok, not arguing in the comments, acting like you so wretched. One time I ran into a Native American girl. I was like, damn, you must have grew up on the south side Houghton Street because you act like you been around us or something. Said, oh, you wrote a lot. Let me see what you said, Clifford 2000 fan. Oh, cool on your story, Julian and the Dragon Dentist. uh, oh, it sounds like a cool story. Wow, that sounds like a pretty cool, creative story about teeth. I'm sure that will be exciting for kids to read. Thank you for being the number one gifter on TikTok, Latoria. But yes, guys, when I saw that movie and just seeing, I mean, the what pissed, I'm gonna tell y'all, if you ain't see it, then just go watch it right now or don't listen. But what pissed me off the most is the fact that for months the neighbors were saying, hey, this Karen, they even had a nickname for her. They call her this Karen is basically harassing us, provoking us. And she just lied. She just lied and lied and lied and lied and lied. She would call the police. The children bothering me. The children this. It's just like she just hated these melanated little kids just because they was happy playing. She reminded me of how Christopher Columbus looked when he wrote in his book, damn, these people they don't know what murder is. They don't know what homicide. He wrote this. He said they don't know what the Bible is. We have to break their spirit. That's what he said. So when I read what he wrote in the 1400s, then I see the evidence of the grandkids of the product of this type of environment, of this type of evil. You see it live on film in Florida, in my home state. Marion County ain't too far from Tallahassee. But see, the Popo in Tallahassee, they represent the Popo in all of Florida. They're very aggressive. They're very entitled. They went through that school system to think that when you see melanin, oh, that was somebody who was enslaved. And we the one who did it. Versus we're the ones who took these people's land and we owe them billions of dollars, and if we pay them billions of dollars, we're gonna be bankrupt. So we gotta be quiet and leave them alone. It's not that it's like let's just try to find anything because tell me how they're still locking people up in Florida for things like the marijuana. But when I go home, I'm like, y'all got dispensaries on every corner, but y'all locking people up for marijuana. But it's legal in other states, but not here in Florida. And every time it comes up to be voted on, you guys say no. Why? Because it gives the Popo the right to harass you and take you to jail for something that people around the country are just doing freely. They won't let it go because it kind of makes them lose a little bit of control because they use the law to control us. You use the plants, put a law on the plants to control you. They put a law on fishing to control you. They put a law if you don't go to school, right? You like, dang, I don't want to learn about this dang on presidents who done murdered us and all this pseudo history because this is illegal, this is fraud, this is treason. Sending kids to school and brainwashing them. Their parents don't know because they done been brainwashed. I don't want to know this. You go to jail. This goes back to the black codes. If you don't know about the black codes, go to my YouTube channel and look up despotism in the black codes. It breaks it down to you in detail. The black codes were replaced when they made the law to say, hey, y'all can't be eating them. You can't be doing what you want with them, just taking them. Like, you can't keep doing that. So when they said you can't keep doing that, they said, okay, we're going to create the black code. So this is a way we still can control them. We're going to tax them, right? We're going to force them to go to work force them to go to work, because this was once their land. Now that we have took their land, unalive the chief, made the people work, tried to sell them, and stole the land using eminent domain. We discussed eminent domain for 2.5 hours on Saturday. This means that the government could say, hey, this is a plot of land full of Niji, American Indians, right? This is all their land, right? But now that I use the Pope's doctrine of discovery, which the Pope, they said they don't want nothing to do with that no more, because that was just saying you can go around and seize people's land, discover people's land, take their land if they are not a Christian prince. So when they came to America, guess who were not Christian princes? The American Indian. The American Indian. These were not Christian princes that you see on the screen here. It wasn't. It wasn't. These were chiefs, chiefesses. You see the palm trees. You probably can't see it on TikTok. I really just want to pull it up on TikTok for real, because yeah, I gotta pull it up fully, because it's like you gotta just see it. I'm gonna take a little time. I ain't in a rush, because this is an important image. This is why we go back. Saturday we went all the way back with eminent domain to learn about how we got from the Pope making letters and telling people to go steal land, all the land that they can find, wherever they can find it. If you're not Christian, if they're not Christian, you can this is it. This is how it started. You see the 1300s, the papal bulls went to royal land charters. Then they became the board of treasury. This was in the United States now. Then they made it to the general land office, where they made it a law where we couldn't own our own land, but they could own it. And they had those people coming on over here on the boats, the white tees coming on the boats, and they were giving them 160 acres apiece just if they agreed to farm. 160 acres apiece. Not 16 acres. Well, that is not enough for us to steal and give away to our people. We're going to get them 160 acres apiece if they want to come over here and farm. Okay? It's just weakening. It's unbelievable. It's an atrocity. It's atrocity against the Niji. Like, I'm gonna get this picture pulled up for y'all TikTok, because I feel like you gotta see it. You just gotta see it. TikTok portrait. Yeah, let's pull up a TikTok portrait, because it just makes more sense when you see the time period that Christopher Columbus was alive and what he was saying, and then you see, oh, these are the people that he was talking about. That looked like me and my ancestors. That looked like us. Oh yeah, I got it to work now. We cooking. I'm about to pull it up now, guys. Yeah. We cooking. Let's download this. Actually, I don't need to download it. I just need to save it. Let me pull it up for you. right, let's see. There we go. Ah, yeah. Now y'all can see the full picture. Now we can talk about the details. Let's get into the full picture. So, when Christopher Columbus came here, this is who he saw. He didn't see the Native Americans. He saw your ancestors. And he called them handsome. He did. He said, oh my God, they're so handsome. They favor the people from the Canary Islands. If y'all don't know what the Canary Islands, that's over there. It's an island on the west coast of Africa. He said, but they look different. They favor them, but they look different. Okay. Uh-oh. My picture went at. They favor them, but they look different. Tell me what. So let's see what. I'm gonna see if I can pull up what he said. All right, let's see what Christopher Columbus said when he pulled up. He said, this is what he said now when he saw these people when he pulled up. Now I want you to see if this is sound like evil or positivity. If it sound like somebody who's psychotic, who's smoking on some heavy drugs, he was hungry, he had been at sea for months trying to find the West Indies. He was like, where is Tortuga Island? Turtle Island. So when people be like, oh, he was looking for India, India wasn't even called India back then. It just got named that 100 years ago. He was looking for the West Indies. You got to go to the old maps, go back to that history. You see from the Papal Bull, that's what started this mess. Eminent domain, the Papal Bull, the doctrine of discovery. These are the seeds of eminent domain that they use in law now to take land legally. Like the judges are like, oh, they can steal it based on the document of discovery. These are the laws. And they gave them the right to come over here and steal from us. And it created monsters like that lady from, you know, The Perfect Neighbor, because they was mad because they saw this, they see this, they don't like to see the little kids outside playing. So when they pulled up, you see the palm trees, they was gardening, just minding their own business. Said damn, Columbus was on some snake period. He was definitely was. It said Christopher Columbus' first journal. I'm gonna read to y'all what it said. And I did use my little Perplexity AI to just get a quick little summary, but I do have the PDF. But the PDF, when you read it, it is long. It actually go him every day. Like the first day he was trying to leave and beg the king and queen to go to find people and treasure and gold. Then they finally gave him permission. King Isabella and Ferdinand. So Isabella and Ferdinand is these. Well, y'all can't see it over there, so we're just gonna keep it rolling. TikTok. You just gotta look it up. Isabella and Ferdinand were the people who listened to the Pope and said, okay, well, the Pope said it's okay to go steal in. They're not Christians, and if they don't read the Bible, then that's what we're gonna do. You got the right to go over there, Christopher Columbus. So he wrote about it. Every day he wrote what the water was, how many nights they went, how they was hungry, and when he pulled up to land, he was in shock. He said, I wish I knew the name of these fruit. They have so much fruit, so much everything. I am jealous because I don't know the name of none of this shit. He wrote this. So when people be like, oh, he discovered this. No, he discovered a whole tribe of people who was running from him. And then he was kidnapping people on sight. He was putting people on his boat. He said, I'm going to take this mother and these children back to the king and queen so that they can see what I found. He was putting people on the boat. And then the mother and children and father got on the boat with them because he was like, you can't take them. I mean, it just goes so, it's just so psychotic what he wrote. But I'm going to read the summary so you can kind of see the mindset of the lunatics. Christopher Columbus' first journal after encountering the indigenous people, who you see here, upon arriving at the islands, which he associated with the Canary Islands route, described the natives as peaceful, timid, and lacking weapons or organized religion. He wrote that, quote, they are destitute of arms, meaning they are destitute of arms, which are entirely unknown to them, and for which they are not adapted. They are timid and full of terror. No, we just thought you was a ghost. Columbus noted that they were fearful and timid, guiltless and honest, and believed the indigenous people could easily. That's what he said. Now listen to this. Very, very, I need you to hear this. If you're like, nah, I need you to hear what he said back then. So if you feel like, dang, nah, that ain't, listen to what he said and how he predicted how we would be right now. He said the indigenous people could be easily converted to Christianity and become loyal subjects of Spain. So when you convert to Christianity, you actually a loyal subject of Spain. But see, the thing with melanated people is everything we do, we are going to do it passion. But they knew how we were. He observed that they believed Columbus and his crew had come down from heaven, and they received the Europeans with wonder and gifts once their initial fears disappeared. He said that they thought that, but they didn't know his language. You see, he just made up stuff as he was writing. He just made stuff up. He said in his communication, he wrote, quote, directly I reached the Indies. In the first hour I discovered I took by force some of the natives, that from them we might gain some information. They are still with me and still believe that I come from heaven. They were the first to declare this wherever I went, and the others ran from house to house crying, come, come, and see the men from heaven. Come on. They don't speak your language. Why are you lying? They was running from you because they was scared. He was around there, got the pow pow out, and these people never seen you before. I thought you said you discovered America though. I thought they said it. I thought the kids taking the test on Tuesday, talking about who discovered America, and they gonna put Christopher Columbus, but it seemed like these people was already in America. So, do y'all know the definition of discovered? Oh! I forgot. The Pope said it is discovered if these people weren't Christian princes. Then you can just take it and make them take the Bible. Columbus expressed his intention to treat the natives kindly so that they, quote, might be made Christians and inclined full of love and service towards our highness and all the Castilian nations, unquote. Yeah. So when you around here not knowing who they saw when they pulled up, this is who they saw. One more. One more, because when they came to my home, Florida, Tallahassee, you know, they also saw the same Indian, the Niji, the same Indians. So let's read what they did when they came to Florida. Because I read about DeSoto, going to Florida. He wrote all this in his journal too, and just unaliving the people. It says, let's read, and then this is the last one I'm gonna read, and I feel like it's enough. We've been fed all this BS for years. Period. That is true. We've been fed the BS for years. The truth is right in our face. I'll be damned when I go to the Library of Congress. If you're interested, because it take a lot of us to dig through the records. Even Ancestry.com, where you go and do your genealogy, I just see that their site is down. The government down. They're trying to figure out what the hell we're going to do because they're digging. But the Library of Congress, they have all the secret Congress records from the Senate all the way back available for you to go and see how they just sit and talk about evil that they're going to do. They have been doing this for the longest. The longest. And I'm just like, wow, they just start the history where they want you to know, oh, you was a slave. That's all you need to know. Even my dad told me they used to make them watch Roots in school. They didn't watch it at home, and they used to fight afterwards because they was trying to tell them that was them in the Root movie. They used to force them to watch it. They used to force our ancestors to go to Sunday school, force them to go to work. And if you didn't go to work, if you quit your job, they would force you to go back without pay. What kind of evil shit is that? They would force you to give up your land and say, okay, here's the cotton from the land that you used to own. Force you to work on your own land. Take all your own land, talking about some eminent domain. What the hell is that? Force you to switch your identity by giving you a paper that only puts white and black. So now you're like, damn, I'm definitely not white. And if you didn't go to the reservation, they would force you into that identity because you didn't want to go to the reservation, and basically like a concentration camp, if you ask me. So in Florida, when they pull up and they saw these same people look just like this with the feathers, melanated, needy, because you got to know Florida hot as fuck. Florida's so hot, your skin have to be like this to survive in Florida. They wanted us to believe that the Native Americans was from Florida, and they was in that hot ass sun picking cotton, tending to the oranges and the apples and the lemons, because cotton ain't the only thing that grew there. Cotton just was the most valuable thing there. And once they realized it, they was like, oh, we got to use eminent domain and use what the Pope said in the Papa Bull and take this land, because these people, these caciques, these tribal leaders, these chiefs are not Christians, so we can take their shit. I always wonder how they did that, because when I go home, like, damn, all these plantations, and they big ass plantations, big ass lands of cotton, look like 160 acres to me. So they would say, hey, if you a settler and you want land, we giving you 160 acres. Meanwhile, my people who own this land, as you can see here on this photo, didn't have to work, just on our tribe, vibing, having a good time. We don't know no evil. We don't know nobody. We don't know nothing about that. They saw that and they said, we have to break their spirit, put them in work, put them in school, make them stress out. And now it's gotten so bad, the 9 to 5 ain't worth nothing. You got to really work a 9 to 5, then a 5 to 9, then make up another day to squeeze in between that and try to, you know what I mean? It doesn't make any sense. They have us stressed out on our own land, paying taxes, and you're an Indian, indigenous, sovereign. They got you. It's gonna break your heart if you don't know, and then you realize, oh shit, what? Because that's what I was like, what? Go do your genealogy. That's all I can tell you, is do your genealogy. I did my genealogy. I sure did. This is one of my ancestors here. You see, inhabitants. We were the inhabitants. They broke our land up into townships. This is how they use eminent domain and take our land, broke it up into townships. This is a record from the 1800s. Yeah. Yeah, go do your genealogy. The website might be down right now, but when it come back up, go do it. Because I don't, something funny going on with the Ancestry.com website. It says these people be hiding their stuff, hoarding this info like a dragon. Yes. You know, the Vatican, the people who actually sent those papers and all the demands and commands to do all this. They have miles and miles of records under the ground that you can't even access. Even our records here before the 1800s, when they were writing us down as Indian on the Census Bureau, our ancestors, because I can go back, but I got to go to Lenexa to get the other records. So that means that the government shut down. I guess Lenexa shut down too. But need you tearing them a new behind. They tearing them a new behind. They never thought that so many people would just wake up so fast. Even last year when I found out, I was like, damn, it's going to take us about 40 years for this stuff to convert. Because I knew the hold that Christianity have on people. I know the hold because I was once one of those people, just like less spiritual, more religious. You know, I was one of those people, and I just like die hard. And then I realized, oh my gosh, they've been lying to me. Everything I look up, from Christmas to Halloween to all of these, Thanksgiving, it was just so evil. Thanksgiving, they sat down and ate us for Thanksgiving and turned it into something else. A holiday for sitting down and going to war with us and then eating us and then celebrating it and making a holiday that we now celebrate. It's crazy. They brought Christmas from over there, like in Scotland, and the real Santa Claus is really named Saint Pierre, and he had this little melanated little boy that he would use to go and hand out toys to the Caucasian kids, you know, but treat him, and he was basically like enslaved. But they brought that over to America and turned it into Santa Claus and the elves, when really it was Santa Claus or Santa Claus and this little black Pierre is what they call him. And every Christmas they do a tradition. All the YTs, they put on blackface. Saint Pierre pulls up on the boat and they hand out toys to the kids. It goes on now, but you won't know about it because you don't read. Or some people don't even care, but I was just so interested in Christmas. I got interested in everything because I feel like everything a lie now. And every time I go and read, it's like, damn, that was a lie. Oh my gosh. But anywho, let's read about what happened when they came to Florida and they pulled up on the Florida coast, because this is the product. The people in Florida are the product of The Perfect Neighbor. When you watch the movie The Perfect Neighbor, it stems from all this deep-rooted hate. And you can see how that lady, she was willing to lie. And the cops saw the hate. Because they like, damn, lady. They even put her in a hotel after she had unalived the mother. They say, we're going to make sure you save. You want us to put you in a hotel? I was like, what? They put the murderer in a hotel now. Where they do that at? Gotta be special privilege. Gotta be a special privilege. My folks never celebrate Christmas, Thanksgiving, or Halloween. They knew that stuff was snake dog shit. They knew the history of these pagan holidays years before you did. Wow. Yeah, I didn't know, because my folks definitely celebrated every, Christmas gift. Ever since I stopped celebrating Christmas, probably been about 3-4 years. But last year, after I found this out, that this was us and not those pretendians, I don't fool with the holidays. I don't fool with Juneteenth. I don't fool with none of that. It's just trying to get your money, put you in debt, keep you in the mindset of taking all of your time, getting you further away from your passion, keeping you broke, making the companies rich. You ain't learning nothing about financial literacy from it, so you just investing all your money into colonized holidays, all your money into stuff that don't even matter, going all to the church. And I couldn't even connect the dots with the church. But I had these deep questions. I'm like, well, dang, if Andrew Jackson them, George Washington them, or the people who use these papal bulls to come over here and steal land and make eminent domain and be all nasty to people. But these are the same people that we're going to go to the church and turn this money in and be blessed. And they was the ones who was responsible for our demise. They're the ones who are responsible for why we gotta go and feel like, oh, save me from this evil life, save me from being broken in poverty, when you really was never in poverty. They want you to feel like This is not your land. That's why they walk around. American. That's us, bro. When y'all gonna get out of our spot? This is a dragon emoji. This is a snake emoji. Oh, they knew that stuff was dragon dog shit. They did. And they knew this. But let me tell y'all what the conquistadors, when they pull up in Florida, this is the ancestors of the perfect neighbor, why she had so much hate, and she was calling those little melanated kids who was outside just playing football. She was calling them slaves. She was calling them niggers. She was calling them all kind of stuff. Little kids now. She had that much deep hate, moved into a melanated community, and just had so much hate built up in her. So when she kept calling the police, she figured out, okay, I can use stand my ground law, because a lot of people use that so they can just unalive people. So she told them it was about 15 minutes before she called police, and she felt threatened for her life. And this is what they used to stay back in the day to get all of us locked up and put in behind bar. They would just lie for no reason. Emmett Till, lie. Trayvon Martin, they lie just so they can do something to you. But the gig is up. I'm happy they put that on national television. It is so hard to watch, because I lost my mom, and it reminded me of the moment they told me, dang, your mom not gonna be here. And to see those little kids break down, they went from happy little kids to broken. He said, I'm broke. My heart is broken that my mom gone. My heart is broken. And all she could do was sit there. Well, I felt threatened. And they said, man, we know that's a lie. They said, you only waited 2 minutes before you called the cops. You waited 2 minutes before you did that. And she kept lying, talking about she waited 10 minutes. And I'm like, wow. The grandchild of Christopher Columbus, activity, type behavior. Don't have no humanity. Just like the popes of the 1300s. They ain't changed. They just came out in 2023. They just came in 2023 and renounced, the papal bull, all of those things. Slavery never ended. They created American, Silicon Valley, PSYOPs, banksters, human husbandry program, farming babies. We don't need to be led anywhere. Facts. It never ended. It just changed names. So when they said, okay, in the book Despotism, when they were fighting the North or the top and the bottom of the colonies, the upper colonies, they wanted to stay loyal. They called them the loyalists. They wanted to stay loyal to the crown, because the crown is the one who sent them over here, gave them orders to come over here and steal our land and lie. The South, down south where I was from, where the Mississippians was at, in Tallahassee, aka Tallahassee, Appalachia, aka the Seminoles, the Yamasee, the real Choctaw, not the Choctaw, the Choctaw, the Creek Indians, we wasn't having it. We wasn't having it. Just wanted to say have a great day this morning. Thank you. I hope you're having a great day too. They wasn't having it. But in the South, they didn't want to let go of them doing this. Finding people, get out mode. Get out mode. Just find somebody, KID, nap them. And now they're your property. This was legal to do this. Then they said, this can't be happening. Y'all doing this, taking their land, lying and telling them they from Africa, brainwashing them, telling them they got to go to church, telling them they got to go to work. All this stuff. You got to go to church. That ain't something that's good for you if they told you have to do it and they made it a law for you to do it. Just use your thinking count. You can't be that brainwashing. If you are, then I'm just sorry that you probably won't wake up, because you can't even see what's right in front of your face. You're going to be blind if you don't wake up. So that's what they wanted to do. Lie. And then they got into war with each other. They started fighting each other for our land. Going to church after the war. Talking about their deacons. Yeah, Andrew Jackson. I don't like his ass. I don't like him just as much as I don't like Christopher Columbus. And he was right in Tallahassee. Tallahassee. That's where they got Jackson Bluff. They got Lake Butler. Used to be Lake something else. but he gave that whole lake to his adopted nephew or somebody, because he came down there and unallowed a whole bunch of people. So they named the land over. They tried to, at least. Still our identity. It's sad. But I'm going to read this now. The word government means to govern minds equals mind control. It absolutely does. It's just mind control. And I think, they're losing control. And it's not a sad thing for me. I don't want you in control. Because you don't know what you're doing. Nobody gave you control. You came, took the land, using all this eminent domain and all this made up stuff. And got people lost, going to school every day, taking tests on y'all history, not our own, not learning who we are. Hello. But learning who you are, learning about the presidents and all of this stuff. Are you teaching about racial reclassification? Are you teaching that melanin is a defense mechanism against the sun and it, helps you fight UV rays? Are you teaching that? Are you banning all the books that teach to love yourself to the melanin? You just banning those books. Come on now. So when the conquistadors pulled up to the coast of Florida, my home state, and they met those tribes and they was going to war, the secret is it wasn't a fair fight. They would always say, where's the cacique, which means king? Where's the king? They was looking for the leader. They was like, where's the gold? Where's the this? And then once they peep out, the land, they would go back because they was hungry. They would go, let the people go to sleep. They would come and ask them to carry their luggage and stuff, and they would say no. But then when the tribe went to sleep, they would sit outside of the village, surrounded, set the homes on fire, and then pow, 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 because remember, they didn't have no arms, right? So they weren't fighting fair, and then they would take over the village, and if there were any men and women left, they would make them carry their stuff to do the same thing to the next village, until people started running and preparing them. But this is the style. It wasn't like fair. And then once they did all of that, they would take the skin from our ancestors and use it as a band-aid, and probably ate dinner off of them too. I ain't gonna even hold you. So it said the conquistadors mostly closely associated with violent and gruesome encounters along the coast of Florida is Hernando de Soto. And if you in Florida, you heard that name before. The Soto Trail, all of this stuff. If it's named after the conquistadors, you know they evil, and they thrive on naming stuff after them and putting up stuff all around because it's propaganda. It keeps you brainwashed. His expedition, which began in 1539, so this is about a little bit after Christopher Columbus, but he came from the same roots as Christopher Columbus with the papal bull and the pope, the directions from the pope and the church. His expedition, which began in 1539, is documented in various chronicles that describe brutality towards indigenous people, including attacks on village and shooting indigenous leaders, taking prisoners, and extreme acts related to wound treatment. One famous account involves De Soto's men attacking an indigenous village. De Soto went to the village, shot the chief, took prisoners, and in the aftermath, when some of his men were gravely wounded, they used the skin of slain Indians to bind and cover their wounds. The grim detail is most commonly referenced in the context of later expeditions as well, but De Soto's chronicles are among those which mention such acts. Quotes from Bernal Diaz del Castillo, while not a direct participant in Florida, but a chronicler of Spanish conquest, described scenes of ambush. That's the word. It wasn't it was an ambush. Like Black Wall Street, how they just use their planes to, send down bombs and ambush. Not a fair fight. It's always an ambush. Just like now, we get an ambush mentally. We don't even know it because you're sending your kids to school. They're being brainwashed with the history. Because it's 12 years a slave, right? They just brainwash you. Even me, I see now, oh, wow, they took my time. I could have been done with the stuff that they was giving me. 6th grade. I didn't have to sit there for that. Tired, your kids tired. They just preparing them to go to work for 8 hours. That's the only purpose. If you don't home, that's why you see a lot of the homeschool needy kids, they graduate 13 years old, they gonna be a doctor. That's how intelligent we are. But if you put them through colonization, learning all the lies about Christopher Columbus giving him a day, you know this country is psychotic when they give somebody who came over here, unalive people, a holiday. Like Andrew Jackson came down here from Florida to Georgia to Louisiana, unalive people. They gave him, not only they didn't give him a holiday, but they put him on the money, and they made him the president. And he was once the governor of Florida for coming down there doing that. But they don't want you to go so far back and learn the truth. They want you to start right here. Hey, Christopher Columbus discovered America. Like, we're going to be that dumb forever. What? We don't believe that. We know how to read. And once you read, you open up Pandora's box. I'm telling you. Each one have to teach one, because the knowledge is like, you just got to be like, whoa. Let me just, woo. Somebody said, Enneagram Mirror said, they have been lying to us all since before the ink was dry on the Constitution. Papal Bull and PayPal, Mafia Digital Currency, PayPal, Popple. They have been lying since they even got over here. Because they already had experience with this over there in Europe when they was taking over those melanated royals. But that's a story for another day. So when they got over here, they was experienced. They already knew what to do. They thought that they were just going to come over here and get it popping. Alright? So it says, quotes from Bernal Diaz de Castillo, while not a direct participant in Florida, but a chronicler of Spanish conquest, describes scenes of ambush and violence at indigenous villages, mentioning taking prisoners of war. So remember, in the book Despotism, prisoners of war become slaves. So when they keep calling us enslaved, and when they throw derogatory, oh, he was a slave, they know what they did, because we are actually prisoners of a Cold War, because everybody acting like they don't know what the fuck going on around here. Going to work, they got us doing everything out of our spirit, out of our character. So they would take them as prisoners of war, unalive the leaders, and do intense bloodshed. As soon as they begin to feel the sharp edge of our swords, they said, this is a quote now, let's just put the quotes in it, because this ain't my words, this is their words from their documents back in the 1500s. What is it, 1539? Somewhere around there. Quote, as soon as they begin to feel the sharp edge of our swords, and saw what destruction our crossbows and matchlocks made among them, they speedily began to give away. 15 of their number lay dead on the field. During the skirmish, we took 2 of the native prisoners who subsequently allowed themselves to be baptized and become Christians. How y'all baptizing and making people Christians when you just had your sword against somebody's neck? Fuck out of here, man. This shit pissed me off, man. These journals do recount taking prisoners, attacking villages, and extreme violence, including occasional references to using native body parts for wound care, though the most and grisly details are often cited in broader summaries and less frequently in direct quotes in the earliest chronicles. So I have to just calm myself down, because it's just like, I can't imagine being indigenous to a land, strangers pulling up, telling you that y'all don't speak the same language, and he just, like Christopher Columbus, all of them, they would just write what they think that you look like you might have been saying, and write whatever they wanted. Oh, we just gonna name this land this, that. So in the 1600s, let's see, when was first president? So I said, when was the first president of the United States? I don't really care about their history. I just look it up when I need it, but I have to know it still. And I said, did he own enslaved people? Since y'all want to vote for presidents and stuff. Oh, you didn't vote. Oh. Come on, man. They making laws locking homeless people up right now. Y'all talking about voting. Homeless people can't even be homeless, and they got millions of forest land locked off using eminent domain. Come on, man. This is just too deep for me to even fathom, but it's just the truth. It said the first president of the United States. You need me? Oh.
You were just sleeping, you bounced up, now you crunk.
Oh. It says the first president of the United States was George Washington. I know y'all see him on the money. Taking him into the church to get blessed, right? You got the tithe over there. You got the Benjamin Franklin. You got them George Washingtons. You know, do you? Okay. It said the first president of the United States was George Washington, inaugurated in 1789. He was inaugurated around the time my ancestors' census bureau that I have, they got records older than George Washington being the president. How the fuck? How do our census records go back older than him? The first time they said, okay, we need a president, because we done unalive their chiefs, we done unalive all their kings. Every time they get a Martin Luther King or anything like it, we gonna knock him down. But you better not touch our president. Yeah. So this was 1789 when he became the first pseudo-president of this land that was ours. They inaugurated him 1789 under the U.S. Constitution, whatever the hell that lie is that they told all those lies. Washington was unanimously elected and served 2 terms, 1789 to 1797. So our ancestors here, they like, what? A president? We probably didn't even like, what are you talking about? Establishing many traditions for the office. As a wealthy Virginia plantation owner, yeah, George Washington, he was a wealthy Virginia plantation owner and did own many slaves during his lifetime. But they gonna send your kids to go, who was the first president? I bet your kids don't know who was their great-great-grandparent and it's right here on this land. I bet they don't know who is their great-great-grandmother. I didn't know that until last year, until I realized who I was. Before then, I was looking all over there, Africa, all in my records right here in the National freaking Archives. But they got my family so brainwashed thinking that we got to just focus on the Bible. We got to focus on what Christopher Columbus told us to do. We got to focus on what the Pope told us to do in the 1300s. And if we don't transition to Christianity, our soul's going to be lost. Are y'all crazy? Got to be crazy. Lies like that don't last forever. That's why I love seeing my people get on here and talk that shit, tell the truth, wake people up, because some people so deep sleep they got the Christopher Columbus brain. In the name of our Lord, if you don't do what I say and become a Christian and get this Bible, I'm going to unalive you. That ain't nothing to do with spirituality. That ain't nothing to do with humanity. I need for the world to wake up. Remember who was here. You see who was here first. Now either you just going to be big, dumb, and slow because you're getting the benefits like those Native Americans was getting $24 billion. Or it ain't, I don't know what the other or is. It said near the end of his life, Washington began to oppose slavery. It's too late for that, bro. You the one who started it. You was the first president at the end of your life. It's always at the end of the life when you done created all this evil shit that you finally start to say, okay, you know what? I've been so evil. It ain't get me nowhere this whole time I've been doing this evil shit. He began to oppose slavery and his will provided for the eventual emancipation of his slaves after his wife's death. It don't work like that, sir. Let's see. How many of the presidents of U.S. owned slaves? Since y'all want to vote so bad, and instead you don't want to get your sovereignty back, you want to go to church so bad. Now let's see how many of y'all think of the presidents in the past owned slavery. Owned slaves before it became illegal now. Because if it was legal, they would still be doing this. But it became illegal because we fought back. We was like, what are y'all doing? Y'all can't KID-nap us and then call us that and steal our thing. Like, let's answer this question, guys. How many of the presidents are enslaved people? Enslaved the indigenous people you see on the screen here that pulled up and said, you know what, we don't care who you are. We got rules from the Pope. You're mine now. A total of 12 of them. 12 U.S. presidents owned or enslaved people at some point in their lives. 8 of them owned slaves while in the office. Ooh, ooh. 8 of them while they was president. You talking about Constitution and all this stuff they made up while they had people actually in chain on their land? And they up here talking about equality and all of this and what? The ones who owned slaves included George Washington, Thomas Jefferson, James Madison, James Monroe, Andrew Jackson, Martin Van Buren, William Henry Harrison, John Tyler, James K. Polk, Zachary Taylor, Andrew Johnson, and Ulysses S. Grant. 10 of the first 12 presidents were slave owners. 10 of them. The first one. So to be the president, you had to be down with the shit. So how can a system that started with, okay, in order to be the president, you gotta have people kidnapping your home and be down with the shit, to now some kind of way the 45th president is supposed to be different and they don't know this? It doesn't make any sense, guys. This is not for us. This is a system built against us, to control us, to take our land, to use eminent domain and papal bulls that don't even apply to this day to steal our land, to come over and say we got the arms, they don't got the arms, we finna use these arms and ambush them. Everything they try to do, we're gonna destroy them. Our whole existence is to destroy them until we get old and then we apologize. So this lady, the perfect neighbor, she had the same type of energy because she came from this. She came from this evil shit. It says 10 of the 12 presidents were slave owners, with the exceptions being John Adams and John Quincy Adams. The last president who owned a slave was Ulysses S. Grant, who freed his slave before his presidency. What? So when did Ulysses Grant serve? Because if he was the last one, when was this? Because what? Ulysses S. Grant served as the 18th president of the United States from 1869 to 1877. He was inaugurated 1869. So 1869, the presidents had enslaved people. That's crazy. So when you think about who you are today, I need you to be motivated in the spirit to continue knowing who you are. Don't be afraid. If you feel like life been lifing, it's lifing on purpose. But that can't break your spirit. Now that we know that the whole purpose of colonization, the whole purpose of YT supremacy, the whole purpose of redlining, eminent domain is to control us and make us not know who we are, you got to know who you are even more. You got to go harder even more. So if you feeling broken spirited, then you let them win. That's the goal. That was the goal. They saw these people over here, these melanated Niji, right there that you see. And they said, damn, they ain't broken spirited. They not Christian. They don't got no Bible. We got to change this shit. And now, do you see what happened? They turned the Indians into Christians. So when you ask yourself, who the real Christians? Who the real Indians? It's not the Native Americans, because they don't do Christianity. I don't really know what they do, honestly. Besides, come on and act ratchet. Like they've been watching and listening to too much Sexy Red. Sexy Red is a Niji. Y'all been listening to her because you act just like you from Memphis. You act like you from Florida. You act like you from where my people at. But y'all act worse. Like, stop it. It's aggravating. So yeah, those are the presidents. That is what happened. So when you around here honoring all this, holidays and Christianity and all this stuff, like, you do yourself a disservice because it was not for us. Where do we go from here, guys? I don't really know. I just know that knowledge is the power. It's the one power that we do have right now. It's the knowledge. Knowledge is the power. Continuing to find ways to break this financial trap. Getting those multiple streams of income. And preparing yourself for whatever is to come once the government realizes that we not like going back to sleep like you thought we were. I guess you thought we were asleep. I don't really know. But we not going back to that. That's why y'all didn't want Martin Luther King and Malcolm X to continue growing and learning, because they was digging too deep. And it's just sad. Like, we just tired of it, man. We just tired of the evilness. When does evil die? How do you kill evil? How do you kill evil? Is there a way to kill evil? How do you kill evil? I want to know. So ChatGPT, I just say, how do you kill evil? Because I don't really know how to kill evil. You know? We could say be positive, but how do you really kill that shit? Because people like that lady in The Perfect Neighbor, she was obsessed with evil. She hated little kids. She hated just the skin color. For somebody to just hate your skin color when your skin don't do nothing but connect to the sun, I feel like that's a bit jealous, man. Do y'all not understand what melanin is? Y'all mad at a chemical product that's made for skin. It sounds psycho. It says evil is not a physical entity that can literally be killed, which we know. Rather, it's a concept often used to describe profoundly immoral actions, harmful intentions, and malevolent, I can never say that word, malevolent forces. Addressing or killing evil depends on the context, philosophical, religious, or practical. Moral and ethical actions. Combating evil can mean standing up against injustice, corruption, and cruelty by promoting justice, compassion, and ethical behavior. We just trying to teach y'all how to be freaking ethical and compassionate and giving justice, restitution. The problem is restitution would bankrupt this whole country, because you've been giving the Native Americans billions of dollars, giving other countries billions of dollars. Meanwhile, 60 and 70-year-olds in this country can't even stop working. They got to keep working. I saw videos, people 70, 80 years old working. Look at the grocery store. You go in the store, the bag of chips that used to be 25 cents, now $5. You can combat evil by supporting laws. I don't know about that. Education and cultural values rather than violence, and fairness, and enable fairness. So it's just going through things that we kind of already know as Nietzsche. Committing to personal integrity and peaceful conflict resolution. That ain't gonna happen. Confront evil by fostering unity, supporting victims, and holding wrongdoers accountable. Now that right there, the wrongdoers, I don't know if they're gonna ever be held accountable. Many philosophies and religions suggest evil should be overcome with good, responding to hatred with love, forgiveness, and understanding. Hell nah. The AI on some BS. Anywho, AI. So how do you kill evil? You just gotta, in my opinion, keep spreading the knowledge, for one. Keep digging up this history, these paintings that they have in other museums in Germany, Russia, South America that show us, because this is the only way. This is the thing that they don't erase because it's antique. It is antiquitous. It's from antiquity. You can't erase it. It means so much. It's valuable. They just don't want us to know how to find it, where to get it. They want us to go to school. So in this day, guys, on this day, continue to just live in your truth. You know the president's one about shit. You know Christopher Columbus one about shit. They tried to fix all this stuff. They didn't try to fix nothing. What am I saying? What am I talking about? They didn't try to fix nothing. So yeah, I think we got enough covered today. I'll be back live tomorrow at 8 a.m. talking about more juiciness. Tomorrow we may do an AI demo. I don't really know. I know on Saturday I'm gonna dig into Halloween. Since that holiday is coming up, I want to really go and see what that holiday is all about. Because I don't really know much about Halloween. I just know it's a holiday and I'm not celebrating it. But I know once I go digging, it's gonna be something that is like, what? So Saturday we're gonna dig into Halloween and see what's the truth, the truth behind that. For the rest of the week, I don't really know what I'm gonna be doing live, but I will definitely be here. Might be doing some demos, just all of that good stuff. So y'all enjoy your Monday. Be productive, and I will see you in the next video. Does anybody have any questions or comments? Put it in the chat. Drop it in the chat. Clipper 2000 fan said, any thoughts on my story idea? Would you like to play the dragon dentist, a black woman voicing a white dragon? I think it's a cool story. I don't know if I would play the dentist because I'm like swamped right now, but it is definitely a cool story. Anything that is going to get children to realize the importance of brushing their teeth and flossing is going to be amazing. And you put it in a story format with dragons and dragoness, so I think it's going to be a hit. Like, seriously, I think it's going to be a hit. Because most dentist books aren't, I haven't really seen any take that perspective, so that's cool. Let me know when you get it done. I would love to support. Any other questions, guys? Our goal for TikTok is 1,000 hearts per day, but we got up to 390, and I'll take that. Thank you, Latoria, for being the #1 heart pumper. Alright, guys, seems like there's no more questions. I'm gonna get on out of here. I'll see you tomorrow, 8 a.m. Bye. This is Dr. Cheapest Sunflower, aka Dr. Sean, the Motivational Dentist, and you're watching the Hood to Hooded podcast. Make sure you go join the Hood to Hooded Dreamers Network. The link is in the bio. You can get free downloads. You can take free courses and just level up and find all of the replays. Alright? I chose a dragon to play up the whole fear of going to the dentist motif. Oh, that is really smart. That's really smart. That's really smart. That's a great idea. Super duper smart. Alright, guys. I will see you tomorrow.